Episode 3, make it make sense. Now, this is probably by far going to be one of my most prolific interviews. Um, I wanted to wait till we got a little bit more deeper in, as you got a gist of what make it make sense looks like, to drop a bomb like this on you. So sit back and relax. This is going to make you think. This is going to inspire. This is also going to make you want to get up and afflict change. My guest this evening will have you having so many different emotions, but it's necessary and needed. Episode 3, make it make sense.
You have rights. You have freedom. But you hate each other. You don't support each other. You can raise your family, but you don't want to. You kill each other and abuse drugs. You know what they did to me? They took me from my country and made me do things that I didn't want to do. They raped our women. And this is the things I get. I'm dying for you. Ah.
So this next guest, as y'all just seen the video, y'all seen how prolific and powerful the video is, but the message is even more stirring. This evening, we have the incomparable, the amazing B. McFly. He is more than just an internet sensation. He's a father, a son, a brother, a teacher, an inspiration, right? He's an entrepreneur. He's also here to talk to us about his journey, what he has going on, and what's next. Stay tuned. Make it make sense. Episode 3 with Nell. Nell presents Make It Make Sense. Make it make sense.
I'm young, I'm pretty, I hit hard. I'm in the best shape of my life. Niggas don't want to get in the ring.
It doesn't even make sense.
But let's get right into it. I'm gonna as we already heard, I'm introducing this brother right here. I know this guy for such a long time, but I want you, the viewing public, to really get an understanding of who I know. I know him more than just B. McFly. I know him for more than just his Instagram handle or his social media presence. I know Brandon. And we're going to get down and dirty with both B. McFly and also Brandon. Welcome.
No, what's up, brother?
How you doing, gang?
Yeah, I'm here, man. Man. It feels good.
Thank you. So we making it make sense tonight, right?
Gotta make sense.
And it was imperative that I brought you on for a number of reasons. And we're going to uncover each one of those reasons tonight. One, as I talked about, the most important thing, father, son, brother, right? Those right there are the pillars that makes up the strength of a household. But then we transition to that once we open our front door and we start to maneuver our way down the steps. Now we get into the entrepreneur, the voice, the sober messenger. That's when we start to add substance to the things that our family members already know, but when we come into contact of people who don't know. Talk to us a little bit about who you are and what makes you.
Well, my name is Brandon Chastain, but B. McFly just came out of like nowhere. Well, I ain't gonna say out of nowhere. A friend of mine name was Marty McFly. He's from Newark, New Jersey. and I was kind of like liking it. I know it come from the back in the what is it Back to the Future movie,
Yeah.
Marty McFly. But I'm like, we might as well call each other the McFly brothers, man. So I was liking that, but to just take it back. My father from New York, but they migrated to Southwest Philly,
Okay.
and on a block called Redfield Street, the Phil, you know what I'm saying? And I used to go over there summer times, a lot of summers, almost every summer. I'm definitely over there, and throughout, the winter, I was over there, but mainly a lot of summers. And my mother's from West Philly, and but they had me at a young age. They had me at 14 and 16. My mother was 14 and my father was 16.
Okay.
Both addicted to drugs at a young age. And I that part right there, like I'm automatically, statistically not even supposed to be here.
Okay.
And it just started from that, man. And then just growing up and just going from house to house, living in aggressive environments, being abused. I was abused a lot as a kid, mentally abused, physically abused a lot as a kid. So that's like, just to sum it up, that's what I grew up in. Crime infested, drug infested, arguing, abuse environment.
When I hear you speak like that, the words that come to mind, because as I see you sitting here now in your glow up, after facing all those adversities, the word that comes to mind is perseverance.
Mm-hmm.
Perseverance. In
Mm-hmm.
your own words, describe what perseverance means to you.
When calling on God, through hard times as a kid, I'm not talking about as an adult where I can fend for myself or I can move on my own. But the late nights of crying, being scared, being lonely, being forced to do things that I don't want to do, and still overcoming those things without killing myself, without being in jail, and able to, actually help those who went through the same things I went through. That's perseverance to me.
God bless, my brother. God bless. Like that's all you could do is say, God bless, and at that moment, God is good because
That is good.
again, typically and normally those would have crumbled the normal, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like we got to be abnormal in these environments because we
Yeah.
go through so much. We're going through so much, as you just said, crime infestation, poverty, drug,
Probably.
um, just negative messages that surround us when it comes to the connotations of the hood, right?
Yep.
That right there could make a sane man weak,
Yep.
as song goes, right? Let's revisit another thing that you said because typically when we hear about stories of young black brothers, there's always this caveat that we come from broken homes, and those broken homes may look like a single mother,
Mm.
father, no father around at all, right? But in your case, that's a little different. You lost your father at a pivotal point in your life, right? Talk to me about the effects that had on you and how that impacted your relationship with your own kids. So again, you lost your father at a pivotal point, but talk to me about the effects that it had on you. And then,
Y- My father, throughout his shortcomings, he was still an affectionate father.
okay,
Um, my mother wasn't too affectionate, so that's something that was a learned behavior.
okay,
Um, a, a fun laughter. As the years progressed, he was the I've watched him be the man of another family that he created, along with the family that was there when he first met my stepmother. And it was a mixture of jealousy, but on the flip side, I was happy to see that he wasn't the man that he used to be. And in the height of in the well, not even the height, but in the beginning of this pivotal moment in my life, it's like, damn, you gone now. You didn't get to see me really, really flourish the way that I was supposed, like you were supposed to see. You caught the beginning of this journey. And you know, my father used to sell me pills and stuff. And I I'm not gonna say I hated him, but I despised him for a while. Because I used to wonder, like, I probably gave him more money for pills than he ever gave me in my life. And I know this is a fact. And like I said before, even though he has shortcomings, I still loved him. But I also, it's like, damn, you left me without saying I'm sorry. I understood it, but I needed you to say it verbally.
Yeah.
And that's that part right there, That's why now I'm more tight knit with my children than I've ever been.
You can't do nothing but internalize that, right?
Yeah.
As I sit here with tears in my eyes because I got genuine love for you,
Right.
not
We love each other.
genuine love for you outside of just a neighborhood guy
Right.
who I neighborhood or somebody who I grew up with. I got a love for you as if we came from the same mother,
Right.
same, because we grew up that way. So many times we'll talk, and we're gonna get in a little into this a little later, but just a little caveat there for the viewing audiences. As I said before, it touches me because I look at you from more than just a friend. I look at you like my brother. We talk. We talk a lot, but
Right.
even when opportunities when we don't get a chance to talk, but we see each other, is a warm embrace as if we've never
Right.
skipped a beat. So when I hear my brother say things like that, it touches me and it makes me realize that forgiveness is key, regardless of however it looks,
Mhm.
right? Because we carry on these burdens that, again, forces us to lash out and take it out on others. It forces us to make hard decisions or even, you know, deviate from even our own responsibilities, like our own children. And I want you to talk about that because you are a great father. Tell me how the effects of your mother and father has played a role in how you parent your children to this day.
Well, it was a lot of learned behaviors, right? I've I've learned a lot of stuff from my father, him having multiple kids by multiple women. Um, I've learned how affectionate my father was, but how aggressive my mother was. And it rubbed off on me. And I didn't understand it until I started seeking therapy. How I was impatient with my kids. Um, Even with drug addiction, I picked up the drug addiction just like my parents were addicted to drugs. And it was like, damn, I'm doing the same thing to my children that my parents did to me. And when I finally, but again, through my drug addiction, I still was affectionate to my kids, but I wasn't as efficient with my children. So let's say for instance, I will be practicing with my son high. And I'm thinking to myself, well, at least I'm around because my dad wasn't around. But I'm not thinking about him like, yeah, you around, but I don't want to see you in this condition. So once I cleaned it up, and just going to therapy, I was able to take my time and really start understanding my children. It took me out of the box and had to think about how they felt. And now it's like I'm more of an active listener. I still put my foot down, but I'm more of an active listener to my children more than a dictator and a director.
Knowing your story, not only have you lost your father, but you also lost your mother.
Mm-hmm.
What did that do to you the day your mother passed?
Um, and just like my father, I never really got a chance to experience them. My mother had me at 14, so I was I may have I've been my mother was probably sober for 10 years. So now it's like even within those 10 years, we still not enjoying each other's comfort because now I'm in school. So, you know, that's gone down. Like it's just never been consistent. So when I lost her, it was just like, damn, like I barely was even with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and even as we got older, you still was doing your own thing, and now I'm doing my own thing. You mom, so I'm going to always check on you and love you and be around you. But I never experienced that. Mom, I'm gonna come over your house and chill. Mom, you made something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Mom, let's have Thanksgiving at your house. Yo, mom, like, yo, who at your house right now, mom? Mom, can I live at in your house for a couple months until I get on my feet? You know, stuff like that, like that you say to your mother, and it hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
Mm,
It hurted bad, and I
I'm
lost
a,
that at a young age too. She was 48 when she died.
yes,
She
yeah.
died from a drug overdose, so that makes things even more worse. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, damn, I lost my mother in 2015, then turned around and lost my father in 2020. So it was like, damn, I really didn't experience neither one of y'all. For real, for real.
I'm gonna throw a couple names at you
Uh-huh.
because I want to see when you hear these names what it does to your persona, how either you light up or if you remain emotionless. And I know you're probably not Sandra.
That's the
We
that
Sandra,
that
right?
yeah, that's the lady that raised me.
Talk about that.
Only the strong survive. That's what she used to tell me, you know what I'm saying? And you know, she tried to instill in me what a man is because in hindsight she was raised by her father. So she 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 had that sternness in her, and it was like I'm raising a man. You know what I mean? And that was the one. That was the woman. I never talked back to my grandmother ever, ever. She
Her,
got
her
on my nerves. She
Yeah.
got on my nerves.
But just knowing Sandra's grandmother, um, an amazing lady,
Yeah,
amazing would invite you in
yeah,
and treat you as if she gave birth to you.
yeah.
Never wanted to see anything, no harm or any strife come your way, and she treated you again as such.
Right.
Another who did the same thing,
Yeah.
Big
Cool.
E.
Of course.
E.
You say
So
what you say?
Big E.
Oh yeah, of course, of
Let's
course.
talk about Big E for a little minute.
Yeah, you know, it's like a love hate relationship
Hmm.
because I went through a lot with him.
Yeah.
Um, and he taught me a lot. He taught me how to use my hands,
Mm-hmm.
fixing things, and you know, like he used to fix everything in the house. Like he's like he's so talented. He could draw, he could sing, he could play an instrument. You know, he partied, he built, he used to remodel the whole house, but he also had a mental health issue and how he was raised, and he took it out on me a lot. And I understand that because I'm older. So I would be a liar to say that I didn't learn stuff from him. I would be a liar to say that I didn't love him. But I'm also going to tell my truth.
Okay.
And he hurt me a lot.
Mm. So let's defy current ideologies, right? I want you to talk about a few things that are positives
Yeah.
and negatives. People would know that you are a teacher,
Yeah.
not just a teacher who goes around and teaches on Instagram or Facebook, but you are a certified teacher in the school system. Talk about that.
Well, after I graduated from Lincoln University,
Talk your shit.
yeah, man. After I graduated from
Yo.
LU, HBCU, first HBCU giving out degrees,
Yes, sir.
right? I I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And I met this young lady on the corner. I was with Al at the time.
Okay.
Ali, right? Had a gun on my hip because I'm playing both sides of the fence.
Mm.
And she was like, "Oh, I heard you graduated from college." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Well, what you doing out here?" Typical stuff. I'm like, "I don't know, man. I'm trying to figure it out." And she said, "Well, you can work at this charter school called Renaissance Advantage Charter School, right there in Southwest, off of Chestnut Street, 56 and Chestnut." So I started working there, and they helped me build while I was there to get certified and all that. And then I became a certified teacher. And then I started teaching in different schools. Like I taught at James Rose School. My last school that I taught at was Sayre High School on 58th and what's that? I forgot. 58th Street. I forgot.
Okay.
So yeah, being a teacher, being a black male teacher at that, is not a lot of us.
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
I think in America, it's probably only about 6% of black male teachers. So I'm proud to say I'm a part of that.
I wanted to throw that in there, right? Because we talked so much about pain. We talked about darkness, but I wanted you to defy current ideologies because people would think this brother just another product of streets. All he wanted to do was get out here and use these negative connotations that he's been faced with and just continue that perpetuation. But you defied those ideologies and you turned that into a degree at an HBCU, which
Absolutely.
then into you now giving back to your community by way of empowering the youth, teaching them, showing them that a person that comes from the same cloth or elk that they come from looks just like their fathers and brothers that they're in the house with could be standing right up here in front of them, giving them lessons that they can carry life. I needed you to speak on that, right? Thank you for doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be throwing things back and forth at each other. When I say these places, I want you to tell me what they mean to you. 60th and Master,
Man,
1900 block of Redfield, Philadelphia, Southwest Philadelphia, New York City, Queens, New York.
Yo, go ahead.
Talk to me about them places, because I'm sure it's others, but those
Those
are,
are those
we
are the
rattle
main ones.
places. A lot of times, we wear the P on our hat, right? Because that's where our feet are planted. That's where we come from, Philly. That is, but there's layers to it. There's layers of to be McFly. There's layers to Nell, right? And some of the layers are 60th and Master, West Philadelphia, 1900 block of Redfield, Southwest Philadelphia. Then your journey took you over the bridge or down the turnpike and over that and under those tunnels, crossing over, and you went to Queens, New York, and spent some time there. So talk about your journey, bro. You got to. People need to know this stuff.
Yo, like I said, right? Like Southwest and West Philly is going to always be the vessels in my heart.
Okay.
Got two vessels, and one is Southwest and one is West Philly.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And although it's like I can't deny neither one. I may have spent more time in West Philly, but I still got my heart, my soul, my passion, my fights, my I was talking to T, right? Me and T was like wrestlers, like we was teammates back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like making belts and shit and all that. Like, and then as we got older, we still doing our ones and twos, like we never missed a beat. You know what I'm saying? But West Philly is where I mainly stayed. But I still get everything. I learned everything from both sides, though. Both sides. And when I moved to New York, that's where I think my ambition went even harder, because in order to live in New York, you got to have a hustle in you. It ain't like Philly at all. I got my heart from Southwest and West Philly. I may have got my heart from Southwest first, though, to be honest with you. I got my heart from Southwest, and then it migrated to West Philly. My heart, not my body.
Yeah.
My body started in West Philly and migrated to Southwest. But my heart started in Southwest and migrated to West Philly. And then my hustle is New York, where you can't play no games out there.
Okay.
Because everybody is on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just talking about just the hustle.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like I say, the heart of a Philadelphian and the hustle of a New Yorker. I got the best of both worlds. And like I said, my family, my grandma Betty, everybody's from New York. My father, my aunt Sabrina, my uncle Douglas, rest his soul, grandmother, rest his soul, they all from NY. My grandfather Pat, he's from Jamaica, but you know what I'm saying? Migrated to New York, then from New York to Philly. So,
and those were the second part of the names that I was going to mention.
Oh,
right? The Dougs.
Oh yeah.
Grandma and Betty. Because I know there's multiple layers that makes up you.
Yeah.
Right. We got the mother side, who we talked about, Sandra, Big E, Yvette. Then we got your father's side of the coin, right? Sabrina.
Yes.
Grandma and Betty.
Yes.
God rest his soul, his father as well.
Mm-hmm.
Those things right there are intricate parts. Are the veins that run to those vessels that makes you.
Yeah.
Right. One other place I gotta take you, because I would be remiss if I didn't announce this, or we didn't make people aware of this.
Mm-hmm. Who?
Overbrook High School. What happened?
I got inducted in Hall of Fame over there.
Talk like what I say. Talk your shit. Make it make sense. What does that mean? What does that look like? How many people inspirational people came from Overbrook High School,
I gotta
along
talk.
with yourself.
I gotta talk my shit, man. So we got Wilt Chamberlain, right? We got Will Smith. We got Guyon Bluford, the first black astronaut.
In
We
space.
we got Benny Boom. He's the video director and
Yes, sir.
movie director.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And we got a few other people, a couple basketball stars, a couple, you know what I mean? Like we got a few people.
Absolutely.
However, you know, like those are just like some names that's like real popular. And it's amazing because Will Smith, he's the first rapper to win a Grammy and had one of the best shows in the early 90s.
He's a hometown hero.
He's a
Not
hometown hero.
but he's an international star. So
Yeah.
you said Will Chamberlain,
Hmm.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Will Smith, Mr. World, right? Guyon Bluford made history, being the
Made
first
history.
black in space. Brandon, your name and likeness sits on the Hall of Fame in the same school as those other amazing men.
Absolutely.
As we journeyed down this path, as we talked about, we journeyed and we made stops, and a lot of the stops that we stopped at along this journey that we are here at now weren't always rainbows and
No.
unicorns and all the kind of other stuff that's supposed to go along with it.
Right.
You aren't supposed to make it there. Not statistics says, Mr. Brandon Chastain, you ain't supposed to be here today.
No.
Tell me about your drive and how you actually got here today. Yeah, we heard about your parents. We heard about the drug abuse. We heard about, you know, how Southwest Philadelphia and West Philadelphia gave you the mox, and New York gave you the swag to go along with that. Tell us a little bit more about you and what makes you you today as we sit here.
Not being afraid. I'm finally not afraid to tap into my diamond because often I was afraid. I was faced with an identity crisis. Like I wanted to be the streets and I wanted to be like this person that's like respected on the I guess on the good side. I wanted to do the negative side and I wanted to do the positive side. I felt like me finally tapping into my diamond allowed me to be who I am today. Me not being afraid of my character. And when you have rich character, sometimes people can't handle rich character. I'm talking about within themselves. And I had to realize, like, yo, listen, man, don't be afraid or ashamed of your story. Be ashamed if there's no ending to your story. And what I mean is the story that's been hurting you. Be afraid if that story doesn't end.
Yeah.
And it finally ended by me tapping into this diamond and not being and just being me.
What challenges you?
Knowing that my parents and my grandparents didn't leave nothing.
Mm.
And I'm not gonna lie. That's one I don't want to leave here knowing that I didn't break the generational curse. I don't want to leave here knowing that I didn't leave a legacy. I don't want to leave memories.
Mm.
I want to leave a legacy. Because memories is just like, oh, remember when mom, dad. No, I want to leave the legacy of remember when dad was working hard to be now he's gone and we can go into this building named after him. We can walk down the street named after him. We have residual income after because of him flowing to the next kin. So my parents and my grandparents left a memory. I am the legacy that they left, but for me, they are memories. I need to leave a legacy.
Call yourself the sober messenger.
Yeah.
What does that consist of?
I eat, shit, sleep, sobriety. I don't. I do absolutely nothing. I don't. And I don't knock people that do. But for me, I am a sober messenger. I'm telling people, I'm walking around taking people to rehab. I'm talking to people. I'm being an active listener to those who are addicted. I am spreading awareness with addiction about addiction. Pardon me. Being a sober messenger is like being an NBA player.
Mm.
So you can put it in that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
A prophet, a pastor, a teacher, an educator. I'm a sober messenger that's delivering a message and that's here to help. Because if I stop helping someone that's fighting with the disease of addiction, then guess what? It's a good chance I'm probably going to lose my sobriety time.
Wow. Powerful. Talk more about how we got to this sobriety part. Because some people may say, okay, all right, I get it. He don't want to drink. He don't like to do this. He don't like to do that. Was this a part of life, or is this just a way of thinking
Man,
that got you?
I wanted to commit suicide. I tried to commit suicide. This is like no BS. Like the reason why I went to rehab is because I would take as many pills as I can. And at the time I started taking pills when pills started to transition into fake pills. So around the time that I got sober, that's when the transitioning of fake pills start to take over. Right. And I used to ask God every day, don't wake me up. Let me die a high death. And I used to jump up and be like, yo, I'm alive. Yo, it's time for me to go to rehab because it's not working. I will mix fake pills, real pills, Xannies, whatever was in that fake pill. It could have been dope, crack. I don't know what was in those fake pills. All I know is I'm taking them. I didn't know that they were literally fake because I wouldn't have took them. But I'm sure I took a lot of fake pills. And that's why I am who I am today. This is why I'm where I'm at today. This is why sobriety for me is continue to help people and continue to chase my dream, staying busy, making sure that I don't have no idle time. Because the minute I got idle time, and the minute I think I can do it on my own, and the minute I feel like I'm arrogant and I'm more powerful than the disease of addiction, guess what? I'm back to square one again. Watching my parents be on drugs. Because I'm no different from a crackhead, from a dope head, from any heads that y'all want to think of, I'm no different from them. I was taking opioids. The worst drug is alcohol when you abuse it.
Mm.
That's the worst. That's worse than crack. Just because you don't see people on park benches and digging out garbage cans and robbing and stealing, that don't mean that you're not suffering from the disease of addiction. And that's the ignorance. Alcohol is the worst drug because you can die from an overdose of alcohol. You can't die from It ain't no such thing as an overdose of crack.
So drugs,
Drugs,
the alcohol,
it alternates you.
the substance abuse.
The-
It didn't take you out,
right.
but February 3rd almost did. Take me back to that day, February 3rd of 2023.
So
Just take me back from, I want to even start from the moment you opened your eyes that day. Take me through those chain of events that led to not a substance abuse taking you out, but an arrogant asshole who tried.
I remember I'm normally inside of my community. I have to be seen in my community.
Mm.
So, because I don't want to be seen as this person that's I get online and just talk because I got lips.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that I did was I woke up. I'm living downtown. I get in my car. I don't even think I had a ticket because I average a damn ticket every day. But I get in my car and the first place I go to this spot called Hibiscus. It's on Baltimore Avenue, a vegan spot. And I go up 52nd Street and I normally walk around and stuff, you know what I mean? Let people see me. It's one of those days where it's busy. You getting out, like just let the people see. And I jump in my car and I'm swinging around the block and I see somebody behind me.
Mm.
So I make a right on 52nd and Chestnut. They still behind me. I make another right on 51st Street. Then I make another right on 50 on Sampson Street. So they follow me at this time. Now, mind you, I'm licensed to carry because all the positivity, I'm still not naive.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I seen this person trying to speed up on me. So I'm like, is this somebody that's a supporter or is this something else? Come to find out, I pulled down on 55th and Sampson, something like that. I got my gun on me. Now I got it out. Because I'm ready. I don't know what's going on. This is Philadelphia. The man pulls up on the side of me, window down. My window's already down. He pulls up on the side of me. Come to find out, this is the same asshole that I done had 2 encounters with prior to this encounter. The thing that people need to realize is this. When you're doing something positive, there's people out there that want to break that agenda. They're paid to do it. They're organized to do it. I'm hearing people saying, "Well, was you fucking somebody's girlfriend, and did you do something to somebody back in the day?" When you look at this fucking scumbag, you gonna see that he's bugged out. He has mental health issues. He's gone. And he's one of these he's one of these no disrespect to the Israelites, but I think he's like one of those crazy Israelites, right? So he pulled up and was like, "You want to fuck with me?" I'm like, man, do whatever you gotta do at this point, because now this is the third time, bro. I'm tired of you at this point now, and you're following me. Man, he upped it. The nigga starts shooting at me. I was already ready. Now I'm in a fucking crossfire. We are exchanging fire, bro. No exaggeration. I don't know what the fuck. I just wasn't. I don't know what was going on in my mind, but I was so in a rage that I didn't even fucking go nowhere. Like I wanted to. I'm ready to die, bro, because I'm tired of this guy. And neither one of us got hit for some odd reason, or maybe he got hit. I felt like I hit him, and the cops came, and I'm licensed to carry, so I don't even care at this point.
Oh, you could. It leaves you speechless. It really leaves you speechless. You know. Who? Like my next question was, what would you say was your worst moment? I guess that right there, on top of everything that you've experienced in your 40 plus years on Earth, has to be one of those experiences that we can look back and say that was one of them. That was the worst moment. You see your life flash before your eyes. You got kids to go home to, right? Like typically, our mindset is to make it back home the same way we left, in one piece,
Yeah.
right? Because we come from these jungle type environments. Because we are in these, and our surroundings are such, you know, like being out there roaming with lions and tigers and things like that. It keeps us with a keen sense of, of awareness.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, people don't have that awareness. They're too busy on their phones, too busy, performing for TikTok and social medias. What's your thought pattern on privacy and the importance of privacy and how that plays in our everyday life?
Well, it's a gift and a curse because everything is recorded,
Mm-hmm.
except the time where you need to either win a case or lose a case. Everything else, everything else is recorded, right? And this is why I try to be as transparent as possible because there's really no secrets. Somebody is going to use your imperfections, your shortcomings against you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd rather be the first person that put my business out there before before people add lies to the truth. So it's a preference. I mean, I believe if you don't have to be on these social media sites, then don't. Treat it like TV and just click through the channels. You're not you can't put your life on the TV that you're watching. But whatever you watching on TV can put that life on you. Treat it like that. Treat it like back in the day. Just roll through the 5 channels we had, where it wasn't that many, and just call it a day, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to be prepared for this lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you did back in the day may catch up with you. Everything that you doing now, ain't no need of sneaking around. You can't sneak around like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially when you are a public figure. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta. I ain't saying don't walk around like you perfect, nah. But I can't do the shit that I used to do no more. Motherfuckers see me walk. No, I know that's you, B McFly. That's you.
And I wanted to ask that question because I wanted to open up Pandora's box.
Go ahead.
And Pandora's box is just more or less us sharing our experiences from being in the streets.
Yeah.
Being the proverbial street dude, but has his act together and is cleaned up to where, you know, many people confuse that with, oh, you ain't really had to go through what you had to go through because you make it look pretty, or you come from a humble background, or nah, we understand how to maneuver through the jungle. So where we're at right now is cakewalk. But I needed you to also share your thoughts and opinions about certain things that affects us in life. Another thing that you have done on the side of positivity is created a book. Anybody Can Be McFly. Talk to me about that.
I felt like, you know, kids all over the world should read this book, because B McFly stands for being motivated comes from loving yourself. So when I say anybody can be motivated from loving themselves. And a lot of kids are suffering in Philadelphia from drug addiction, low self-esteem, depression, PTSD, hypertension, overweight, no education, no love. And B McFly came to save the day in Philadelphia, or came to save Philadelphia, period.
Sure.
And I use my kids' names and the characters, and it's a dope book, man. I'm never gonna write nothing that long again. No, 26 pages beat me. I'm never doing that again, ever.
So
My
not
shit's going.
only are you an entrepreneur, you're a community activist. You are a published author,
That's a fact.
a teacher,
Yeah,
a dad,
yeah,
brother, a
yeah.
son. But more importantly, when we put all those things together and we put a bow on it, the bow that's on top of all of that is an inspiration. You inspire so many people, and you inspire people that you have no idea who you've inspired. You've inspired people to say, "I've had enough. Let me put this drug down." You've inspired people to say, "My mental health is not where it needs to be. Let me get it checked." Your videos that you've put out on those social sites has woken people up and said, "I no longer want to be bound and chained but by shackles. I want to live free. I want to move. I don't want to be held down anymore." You've done that. B McFly, Brandon Chastain, the man who got his heart planted in Southwest Philadelphia, moved over to West Philly, took it back to New York, and is sitting here today with me talking about drug addiction, beating it, talking about being an author and giving inspiration to the kids by way of being a teacher, but more or less a role model. Also, being an intricate part in your kid's life. You are now raising a man along with three beautiful queens that you have as well. So you have to show both your son,
Mm-hmm.
daughters, what it means to be stand up, what it means to have a presence of positivity, but yet also have substance.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you.
Appreciate you.
And as Black men, we don't do that enough. We are too brash, too hard. We too coy when it comes time to sharing our emotions with our fellow brother.
Facts.
Sometimes just a kind word of "I'm proud of you" or "I love you" can help you go on a little further.
Yes.
It's not all about the money. It ain't about the fame. It ain't about what you can do for me. It's just those kind words. Because we know what it is to be a man. We know what it is to struggle. We know what it is to triumph. But we know what it is when we come together, how much more important we are
Strong.
to each other when we're bonded versus being separated. And I wanted to bring you on, one, to share your story with the world, but also the two, to give you your flowers and tell you, brother, I love you.
You know, I love your soul, man. I
I
love
love
your
you for
soul.
too. You know what I mean? A lot of people from our hood, our friends, you know what I mean, think that the world was given to us. We just had these silver spoons and these silver platters to lay on, and all we had to do was come outside. No, no. Open your mouth. You led with a story that let it be known that it was nothing silver about their spoon.
At all. Yo, this is crazy.
But again, it's the swagger that lives within us that makes us go on regardless of whatever we're facing.
Yeah.
Show the world that, hey, I come from that, but I am not that. I was made there, but I don't dwell there. I went back there and made sure I cleaned it up because I
Yeah.
am. And
Yeah.
that's what you're doing, my man. That's what you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that I'm super proud of, this was when I seen this shit touched me. And it was like, yo, this is a culmination of real life. My real life brother, B McFly, with my entertainment brother, Murder Mace.
Yeah.
It
You know
is what
that's
it
your
is.
guy. You know that's your
That's
guy.
my
You
guy,
know
bro.
that's your guy.
Harlem's finest. Harlem world's finest. And when I seen the news break that you are now a content creator for It Is What It Is, which is a podcast with the likes of Cameron Giles and Mason Bedford, both childhood friends that had a falling out, but they brought it back together, and
About that.
they
How
created
about
this positive, funny sports show. Right? Right now. I can't call it the best sports show because I got to give it to my guys T and Mike with Game 7. I would be remiss if I did.
Oh yeah.
I
I
would
ain't
be
know that.
remiss if I didn't shout out
Hold
my
on.
guys.
Hold on. They got to hold up. Cause I know this shit funny as hell.
Retarded.
What
Them two,
Mike? I know Mike.
man.
I know Mike is. He swear he know it all, right? He
Bro,
knows.
when I tell you, them two got it. Them two got it. So when I speak, when I hear the
I
chat,
can't wait to go on their show.
I hear the chatter out here about them two gentlemen having an amazing show. I've seen it. I watch it. I love it. But
Okay.
I'm a homer and I'm biased to my guys at Game
Of
7.
course.
But
Of course.
you are a part of that. You are doing major things, not just in life, but also in entertainment. Talk to me more about that. What's that about?
Man, I seen about 25 people getting fired on ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, hold the fuck up. Cam got a sports show, and the one thing that I learned about the internet is you can be your own boss. So I said, now let me pay homage to Cam in the sports show, and I said what I said. And the next thing you know, Cam just started, he jumped on my page, he just started flooding my page. Likes and checking stuff out and shit. So I said, you know what? This is a swallow your pride moment. Let me jump in this nigga DM real quick. Yo, Cam, listen, how can I get on the show? How can we work together? And
Mm-hmm.
or how can I work for you? I ain't got no pride. The nigga hit me up and was like, man, this is my number. Call me right now. I called the nigga. He like, yo, what you do? I seen you been on the news and man, I'm like, listen, I'm a positive person, but I'm also a content creator. Like I have a sense of humor. Like I could still be positive with a sense of humor.
Sure.
He like, so what you have in mind? I'm like, we play the pause game a lot. You play the pause game a lot. Since this is a sports show, if somebody did something all the way out of pocket and out of whack, it's a beyond a pause, bro. We have to call it a flagrant pause. The nigga went crazy, bro. It was like, yo, that's genius. He said, do something for me. Like, put something together. I'm like, you serious? Like, put something together. Man, I did that shit within the next day. Boom.
For sure.
And the nigga said, damn, we like this. I'm going to hook you up with my producer right now. Welcome to the family. I said, get the fuck out of here.
Exactly. That
Yeah,
right.
that's his history.
That right there is phenomenal. That just goes to show the perseverance that we talked about earlier in the show. I'm gonna use that word perseverance. It just goes to show from all of the strife, all of the trauma, all of the toxicity arose, grew from the concrete.
Yep.
Now you're here talking about positive things. Author. You're talking about being a content creator for one of the top sports shows out there. Also doing a number of different important things for the community.
Yep.
Your name is ringing bells, and it's going to continue to be. That's the plan, right? God, what Khaled always say, God's plan, or God did,
God did.
God did it for you. It wasn't time for you to go after mixing pills on top of pills on top of pills, alcohol. It wasn't your time to go when that maniac pulled up beside you and let off shots. It wasn't your time, and it's still not your time, because God has a purpose and a plan for you, and you are living in your truth, my brother. A couple of names that I got that I want to shout out to you before we get up out of here. Ali, T, Beans, Mont, O'Reese, right? Doug, Sheba, D, you know what I mean? Sneak, Reese, biggest of them all. Lou. When we say them names, what comes to mind with that?
I'm gonna go back to running through the alleyway. Running through the alleyways, right? Alleyways was our friend, like running through the alleyways, then running on the what's that ledge part where we on when we used to run on the gates to go to the park.
Go to the park. We used to climb up deep thing to go on the ledge to go to the park. Yep.
Right. Exactly. Right. I used to me, because I got to throw Mike in there too.
You got to throw Mike in there.
Forgot about Mike too.
Forgot about Mike, but never forgetting about his crazy ass.
Never forget about him. It's crazy because everybody shares a special part in my heart, but collectively brothers, no matter what. Me and Mont lived together before.
Brothers. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like me and Mont lived together.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like everybody, y'all came to New York, man. When I see y'all up in New York, man, I damn near cried, man. I was happy as shit to see y'all. You know what I mean? Like looking at Lou was Lou. It was something about Lou because he always, rest in peace, man. I love that, bro. I love that guy, man. Because Lou, he's like, stop playing dumb, Lou. Like, what the hell is going on, man?
Exactly.
Like, why you?
Exactly.
It is crazy. Like everybody shares a role, man. Like, and I can talk about that for days. I can break everybody down
Yep.
because we all have our moments.
We got our moments.
But I just want to say, man, like it was an honor just growing up on Redfield.
Sure.
I couldn't wait to pull up on Redfield because Master Street was a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
It wasn't as intimate as Redfield.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, damn, what a die for everybody out there, man.
Yeah.
And Ali already, I'd have been through shit with Ali. Like, come on, man.
The one takeaway when I say those names is the one thing that I now think of, and I get emotional because this guy right here means so much to me. This
Yeah, I
guy
know.
is no longer here. Out of all of the names that we just named, everybody is still here.
Yeah.
Everybody, every one of them are great fathers.
Yeah.
Great fathers. Let me not whisper that. Let me scream that to the hills. Are great fathers. Are fathers who are in their kids' life on a daily. Not in their kids' life because they have a check. Not in their kids' life because they have to. They're in their kids' life because they are.
Yep.
All of those I named. Bruce. Lamar.
Wow.
Ali. P. Mike. D. Beans. Snake. Reese. Butter. The names go on. Me. You. Everybody.
How Butter doing?
Butter's doing. Butter's doing. He's Butter. He's going to always be Butter. But when I think of those guys, the word other than father is brothers. Like that's a real live brotherhood that
You
we forged amongst all of us, and it won't ever go away. We've been through shit with we didn't let that divide us.
And another thing, not to cut your wisdom. Another thing I used to think about too with us, we was willing to play anybody in any fucking sport.
What was it? Basketball or football, man?
Basketball or
Baseball,
football, and we traveling.
bro. And we had the most cockiest niggas. T, Mike. We had the two as cockiest dudes ever. But they
On
could
God.
play. But they could
That-
play. So it was like they was cocky with game. You had Ali, cocky, but strong diesel.
Strong.
Reese, cock diesel.
Quiet as kept. I want to let this be known. O was my favorite basketball player, though. I'm sorry. I know. Everybody. I know. O was my favorite. He was my favorite.
Your fave?
O was my favorite, bro. Over Mike, over T,
Okay.
over Ali, over everybody, man. That's just my guy.
We all had our traits that made us unique. You had your ball players, you had your hustlers, you had your get fly dudes,
Yes.
you had your clicks. And to this day, if we all link up, it's not like we missed the beat.
What?
It's not like we missed the beat. And everybody doing something positive. You got Ali Barbershop every year giving back to the community.
Yes.
Major. Uncle Lou's Foundation. Shout outs to him. You got T. Look at this. We on T's network right now. Made Enterprises. This him.
Made Enterprise, my
This
nigga.
him. Big homie. You dig?
Big homie.
You got Beans and them married with children doing great husbands. You got Reese, doing amazing things within himself. You got dudes, you got Snake, a music producer, running back and forth to Atlanta, New York, doing things with his artists. You got us guys that come from a small little block that if you blinked, you missed it.
Yeah, if you blinked,
rolled through it, you would think nothing positive could come from it. But we all are doing something positive.
We made it.
We made it. And everywhere we go, every one of us carries his memory and his name. So
Agrees with that.
Regardless, his memory or him would never ever die. Regardless if his body is not here in the physical, he is always here. And I always take him with me everywhere I go, dedicated to my man Lou.
Lou, man, rest in peace, Lou. I love you, boy.
But before we get up out of here, what's one thing that you would like to leave my audience to absorb?
Please tap into your diamond. Don't think about the money. Don't think about the support. Don't think about who's going to laugh at you. Don't think about who's going to talk about you. Don't think about the negative things that you've probably done in the past. Tap into your diamond. Diamonds are not easy to be found. God don't make things easy. He don't make the good things easy to be found. Because if he did, diamonds would be easy to be found.
Talk about it.
Gold would be easy to be found, right? So you're going to go through the ups and downs. You're going to be searching. You're going to be sleepy. You're going to be tired. You're going to want to give up. But the bottom line is this, though. If you keep fighting, continue to be a student, always listen, always study, always stay focused, and block out all the nonsense, I can assure you, you're going to make it. Trust me. I am the epitome of being brought into danger, frustration, filth, all types of shit. And where I'm at today is just the beginning.
I don't want to kill you.
I want to heal with you. I don't want to kill you. That's the campaign. I don't want to kill you. I want to heal with you. I don't want to kill you financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. I don't want to kill you. I want to heal with you.
One last thing. If the world was perfect, what would it look like for you in your current state?
Mental health. People would be comfortable with their mental health. I think once people tap into their mental health issues, I can assure you life will be better. Trust me.
Let's talk about that for a quick minute. As each topic lends itself for us to be here a little longer, right? Something that I've embraced for the past maybe 6 to 9, actually more like 9 months now, is my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
We as a society, the society that we are, the Black community, doesn't take sitting down and speaking with someone, counseling, as serious as they should be. We think we can self-heal, self-medicate, express our feelings and our emotions by just, oh, I'm cool. It is important and imperative that you seek help, because mental health is an aspect and a part of our lives that will always be there. And if we're not in front of it, our health is not well.
You know, the body has to release. So the same way we have to do a number one, number two, the same way we cry, the same way we sneeze, the same way we cough, we spit, even get pimples coming. The body has to release. That's the same thing as your mental health. If you don't release what's going on in your brain, you're gonna walk around with a constipated mentality. And you know what constipation feels like. You feel bloated, you feel stuck, you feel full of filth. That's what's going on in your mental when you walk around with a constipated mentality. So, in essence, we kind of like release our mental health in other ways. Food, drug addiction, aggressiveness, and sex.
Yeah.
That's how we release. That's we thinking by releasing it that way, we're good. No, you have to talk to somebody. and be receptive and help. Now, just because you may talk to one person and it's not working, don't give up. That's like telling me, well, that's like me telling you, well, take Tylenol, or we'll take aspirin. And you telling me, well, the aspirin didn't work. Okay, well, then take Tylenol then. Maybe the Tylenol will work. It's the same way with your mental health. Whoever you're talking to, if it's not working, talk to somebody that's a little bit more relatable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When you depend on somebody to feed you, you give them the power to starve you. Right? That's just common knowledge. But
Yeah.
we could sit here all night and talk because it's just in our nature. We built like that. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you again for coming on.
You already know it.
You were supposed to be my second guest. But I said I wanted to wait just a little bit longer because I wanted to give the audience an opportunity to get the gist of what this is supposed to be, what this show is about. About one, getting into people's business a little bit, but more or less getting into your business for positivity, for support, encouragement, repelling, not just getting in your business to be messy, but getting in your business to get a sense of understanding of what it looks like out here. But also, how can we support? How can we be of help in your journey? What can we do to assist you along the ways? Because you're a one-man band, man.
I am. And it's unfortunate that our community, when you ask for help, a lot of people in our community be like, oh, you're begging, or you supposed to just do everything that you're doing for free, and you supposed to be positive. Well, guess what? Me being on this phone right now, I gotta pay for that bill. Me using the charge to actually charge my phone, I gotta pay electric. I gotta pay for gas when I'm taking somebody to rehab. All of this shit costs, man. And it's funny when I forgot the guy name. He's a Caucasian guy. He choked out one of the guys on a New York train, and he wound up dying.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard about that, right?
The homeless guy that got choked out and wound up dying.
He got choked out. This motherfucking they raised $1 million for this motherfucker court fees. That $1 million went to him to fight this case. And if I dare to ask my community for money, they're going to think, oh no, but these people, we got to start supporting each other. I am pro-black to the fucking max, man.
Absolutely.
So if I'm asking donations, I got a book out, I take donations, I take it all.
So how can we?
I want to spread the message.
So how can we make donations? What is? So tell us how we can find you. Tell us your Instagram handles for those that don't know, which we will share in the bio as well. Tell us how
this is,
can put funds in your pocket so you can do those works that will impact and change lives like they have been doing.
Well, my way of accepting donations is not up on my social medias. However, if you want to get to my social medias, all you have to do is Google me. You could Google B McFly, that name B McFly, and everything pops up. You could Google my first and last name, or you could just go to www.bmcfly.com, and that's how you can get to me. But trust me, if you Google B McFly, you'll find me. Trust me.
How about this? I'm gonna do something. We wear red right now, and the red is the color for us, the color of the city that we're from.
Yeah.
All the proceeds from this red shirt that I am wearing today, if anyone supports and buys a Make It Make Sense shirt in red, all proceeds, not some, not half, but all proceeds will go to this man to help him continue your fight and the energies that you put into the community. That will be my promise to you. And
wow, brother.
We'll people support here. So as you heard it
I'm
here
sure.
first, you know, the only way to affect change is by being the change. And the only way
Yeah.
of doing anything by moving your feet. So we're gonna move our feet. All proceeds from the sale of this red shirt that represents the city that we're from, Philadelphia, will go right straight to B McFly.
I love you,
So
bro.
his movement.
I love you, bro.
Also, we got to go out there and we got to support these publications that he put out there, the book, because these books will also help put resources back into the community, because he also gives back, but also giving a young person an opportunity to see a story of someone who looks and came from the same struggle that they're in, and giving them hope and prosperity in the future. My man, thank you for coming on, brother. I
Man,
can't
I appreciate you. How did we know to wear the Phillies hat? How?
we connected, bro. We brothers, as we said before.
Kendrick.
We going
It's
from
a
kindred
Kendrick.
spirit.
It's a Kendrick spirit.
We could be going away from each other for months and years, but when we come together, it's like we never missed a beat. And
It's a
I
fact.
appreciate.
Appreciate you more, man. Tell the guys
Thank
over there at the network I said what's up, man.
we already know. You know, we do this 3 times a week, 2 or 3 times a week. We got Uncensored Minds that comes on Sundays at 9 p.m. Me and T had a sneaker show together on Wednesdays, which you've been a part of on both networks. We appreciate that. Thank you for always supporting us in anything that we do, and however we can repay our services, giving back to you. However that looks like, standing on the front lines with you, being a part of your movements, and also doing whatever you got. You always got us. One
Absolutely.
aspect too that people don't know was he stood on the front line with those individuals that in here in the city when George Floyd was murdered and those protests were going on. He held positive protest. He was not out there looting. He was not
No.
out there stealing, but he was on the front lines, not only talking to the officials, but also letting the people know, hey, let's calm down a little bit. Let's allow our voices and our power to become our movement instead of our hands and our fists. Always a pleasure, my guy.
Always a pleasure, man. Love you, bro.
Love you too, my man. I appreciate you for coming on, and you will always have a place here, regardless of what's going on with you. If you ever got to come here and announce something, break some news, you always got a platform to do it, my man. Stay safe. I love you.
I love you too. Safety.
There you have it, episode 3, with my guy B McFly. Thank you for coming on. When I speak to individuals like himself, it only renews my spirit. It's like knives sharpening knives, right? It just makes for a good experience and also good content. He dropped a lot of jewels on us this evening. You know, living in our truths, living in our diamond, being real with ourselves. Stop letting facades define us and dictate our movements. Allowing our truth to shine bright. That way no one can ever tell your story but you. Another episode of Make It Make Sense. Appreciate you all for supporting and following